Je donne la parole au représentant de l'Allemagne.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me, at the outset, welcome His Excellency Mr. Vuk Jeremic, Foreign Minister of Serbia, and His Excellency Mr. Enver Hoxha, Foreign Minister of Kosovo. Many thanks also to Assistant Secretary General Edmond Mullet for his comprehensive briefing, and Mr. Zarev for joining us per video link. Mr. President, we continue to view the situation in northern Kosovo with great concern. The tense political situation has clearly and negatively impacted the EU, the European Union facilitated dialogue between Pristina and Belgrade. Once again, we particularly deplore the reactions following the deployment of Kosovo Customs and Border Police officers last year, especially the reinforcement of roadblocks at some gates and the erection of additional roadblocks along other routes. We firmly condemn any acts of violence against KFOR or ULEX, such as the attacks against KFOR personnel of late November 2011. Let me recall that throughout these recent tensions, both KFOR and ULEX have acted and continue to act in accordance with their mandate, in a status-neutral way, which aims to ensure and maintain a safe and secure environment, including freedom of movement and to establish the rule of law. Germany appreciates UNMIK's contribution towards restoring freedom of movement for the international presences throughout northern Kosovo. The last weeks have seen slight improvements. This momentum should be maintained and parties should build upon it. In this context, we welcome efforts undertaken by UNMIK to improve coordination and cooperation among KFOR, ULEX, OSCE, Kosovo and Serb leaders, and we encourage further actions to reduce misunderstandings and miscommunication. We commend President Tadic's call for the dismantling of roadblocks. This call came belatedly, but should be welcomed nevertheless. Further steps are required to enable both KFOR and, above all, EU rule of law mission ULEX to carry out their respective mandates unhindered. Mr. President, dialogue has proven to be the most effective means to contribute to sustainable peace and stability in the region. It is of utmost importance to provide the region with a clear European perspective and to ensure transparent communication between the parties. The European Union is a strong partner and is committed to supporting the region in finding long-lasting solutions and in building a European future. As Foreign Minister Westerwelle emphasized after his recent meeting with His Excellency Mr. Enver Hoxha, Foreign Minister of Kosovo, it is positive that Kosovo and Serbia have taken up their dialogue again, and this dialogue has brought about first tangible results. It is crucial that both sides continue to show credible commitment and achieve further progress in moving forward with the implementation in good faith of the agreements reached in the EU-facilitated dialogue. This includes implementation of the 2nd December agreement on the integrated management of crossing points, and reaching agreement on inclusive regional cooperation will also be a crucial contribution to peace and stability in the region as a whole. We welcome the progress made on mutually accepted university diplomas, including the agreement to introduce certification by a committee of European academic experts. Those measures are important, tangible steps that have a direct positive impact for the people in Kosovo. Against this background, it is even more regrettable that no date was set yet for a new dialogue meeting. We urge both parties to agree on this as soon as possible. Mr. President, a few remarks on rule of law and security. Germany is pleased to note that in 2011, the overall number of common crimes has decreased compared to the previous year. We also congratulate the Kosovo police on its successful operations against organized crime and its perseverance in the fight against human and drug trafficking. We encourage Kosovo and Serbia to continue to reinforce cooperation between their respective ministries of justice. Mr. President, regarding the allegations raised in the so-called Marty report, let me once again stress that Germany takes these allegations very seriously. A thorough investigation of all alleged crimes is required, including abductions, detentions, mistreatment, and killings during the period in question. We thus fully support the work of the Special Investigative Task Force established by ULEX under the leadership of Ambassador Clint Williamson. We welcome the update provided in the current UNMIK report, and we look forward to this continuing reporting to the Security Council on the work of the Special Task Force. Let me reiterate that we have no doubt that the Special Task Force has the capacities, the competence, and the jurisdiction to carry out these investigations. Much has been achieved. 19 of its authorized 25 staff members have commenced their work. These include prosecutors, investigators, analysts, and support staff. The Special Investigative Task Force is analyzing the information collected, including that provided by UNMIK as part of its transition process. Ambassador Williamson has had numerous constructive meetings with heads of states and government, as well as relevant authorities in Kosovo, Serbia, and Albania. We're thus particularly pleased to see that not only Pristina, but also Belgrade and Tirana have reconfirmed at the highest political level their full cooperation with the task force and its investigators. The Serbian prosecutor for war crimes, Mr. Vladimir Vukcevic, met with Ambassador Williamson and described his approach, according to local media on the 19th of January, as, I quote, very serious and highly professional, end of quote. Most recently, the Albanian government and authorities reiterated their commitment to full cooperation with the Special Investigative Task Force following the visit of Ambassador Williamson to Tirana. This was reiterated once again in the letter sent to this Council yesterday by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Albania. Against this background, we are confident that all governments will continue to respond favorably to a possible call for assistance. This will ensure that the task force can conduct investigations in Kosovo and beyond. Mr. President, let me conclude by reiterating our appreciation for the contributions made by UNMIK and commend the dedication and service of its staff. Germany will continue to pay great attention to the developments in Kosovo. We will also continue to promote Serbia's and Kosovo's joint and shared European future. Thank you, Mr. President.
Je remercie le représentant de l'Allemagne de sa déclaration.